What is up, everybody? Welcome to Backlog and Beyond, the podcast where we talk about the old video games we want to beat and the new ones we play instead. I'm your host, Nathan Hawkins.
And I'm your other host, Neville Big Bottom. And this is episode number 30. Wow, this is a milestone 130.
I know, right? Episode 30. Well, thanks for joining me today, Neville Big Bottom, a.k.a. Jeff Savatero.
You're welcome.
We got a good show for you today, obviously. We're going to be talking about some news. We're going to be doing Retrospect, which is we're going to look at some gaming history of the month. And we're going to be diving into a full recap of the Video Game Awards show. We're going to be talking about the announcements, the awards, all that jazz. But before we jump into that, what have you been playing this week, Jeff?
Nothing.
Wow.
I didn't play anything.
Nothing.
It's just so, I mean, just like
nothing.
the normal, it's community weekend in Pokemon Go, so I played for a little bit before work and
right.
playing Words with Friends as usual.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, those are what I put most of my time into.
Cool.
Yeah,
all right.
How about you?
Been playing Unto the End, that cinematic platformer, like that indie that just came out on PlayStation and pretty much everything else. Holy hell, it's challenging. It is extremely hard. I started a Let's Play as well for that, and if you're listening to this on the day of the podcast's release, episode 3 is up today. So yeah, you should go check it out. I realized that I wasn't recording in the highest quality, so now episode 3 will be in 1080p, 60 frames per second. So the 60 FPS makes it look way better.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I wasn't a believer until I got the PlayStation 5, and I'm
right?
like, oh, it is better.
I get it. But yeah, it looks it's a really challenging game. Like, I would say this, everything about the game is absolutely amazing, but if you do not want a challenge, you will hate this game. Like, absolutely hate this game, because it is so strict and specific on the combat that you really have to just bear and grin it. Like, grin and bear it. Bear and grin it? Grin and bear it. It's very difficult. I think one set of bad guys took me a half an hour to beat. And I probably died about 10, 15, 20 times. It was very frustrating. I was close to rage quitting. But it's been cool because one of the developers of the game, the husband and wife duo, he tweeted me just kind of telling me how he was enjoying the Let's Play. And he was actually really happy to see how I was, like, slowly learning how to play the game, little by little. And he really pretty much said that's the best way to play the game, is to learn it slowly. Really cool guy. Steven Danton, I believe, is his name. So
now that he knows you said his name wrong, he's never going to watch your Let's Play again. I don't like you anymore, Nathan.
Yeah, exactly. Just deletes all of his comments on my tweets. I don't think you can do that. Anyway, but that's been it, really. I think I downloaded a bunch of games, though, that I haven't played ever, because I was like, well, I'm going to get these ready for the podcast eventually. So I've just been downloading a bunch of games. So I'll get to those eventually. So anyway, but that's been it, other than the Give It an Hour game. So let's move into the news. Jeff, what'd you bring for us today?
2 pieces of news. Hitman 3 talked about some of the features they're going to be using, especially using the adaptive triggers.
Oh, nice.
For shooting stuff, so every gun feels unique. And you'll be able to play those and use those in the first 2 games for absolutely free.
What?
All of the updates. Yeah, they did that with Hitman 1 when the second one came out. You could play the entire first game in the second one for free.
Oh, that's cool.
So now I'm just going to wait till the third one to play all of them. You wouldn't even have to own.
That's amazing.
You wouldn't even have to own 2 to play 1. You just had to get one of the levels in your library. So I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah, actually, I only played the intro level for Hitman 1. So I've only played 1 level, and it was like the tutorial level. So I really am excited to get in, to get ready for Hitman 3. So I may just wait then, if that's going to be the case.
Adaptive triggers are a game changer, man.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I'm going to probably wait then. I'll just wait.
Yeah. They also, for Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered, they added a new 60 frames per second performance with ray tracing mode. So now you don't have to choose ray tracing or 60 frames a second.
Oh, that's cool.
So everyone thought it was going to be a 1080k thing, but it's adaptive 4K. So it's not like clean 4K, but it still looks amazing.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm going to try that as well, because I really like ray tracing and the updated graphics, but as soon as I went in 60 frames a second, I was like, I don't know how to go back. Like
Oh
I went
man.
back and you could tell how choppy it looks
Oof.
for the first like 5 minutes, and then your brain adjusts to it and it looks fine again. But 60 frames a second, I get it. I get it. I've seen it. I understand
I
it.
have seen the light.
It's not necessary for every game, yes, but it like I don't know. It's too good.
That's
I get
awesome.
it. I understand.
Well, that's good news then for everybody, especially me who hasn't even touched the game yet or has a PS5. So,
Yeah, by the time you get a PlayStation 5, you're no longer going to be able to play as inanimate objects though, so you're missing out.
mm,
There's a bug where someone was playing as like a hot dog cart. It was pretty dope.
that's fantastic. That's amazing. Oh my god. That's great. Cool.
News.
Well, that's exciting. So my news, Cyberpunk has released. Obviously, that's not really news to anybody, but the pre-orders apparently have covered all of the development and marketing costs, just the pre-orders alone. So that's pretty impressive. However, the launch issues have actually caused their stock to drop like immensely. Apparently, there's just been like a crap ton of bugs, issues everywhere. Specifically on the previous gen console, so on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Apparently, there's been a lot of issues with that. But I've been seeing a little bit of both sides of people complaining on Twitter, and there's some people who absolutely love it and think it's an amazing game, and there's some people who are like, "What is this trash?" Like, I don't know exactly who to listen to, really. I mean, the reviews overall seem to be really good. I'm seeing like average scores of like 90s and 9s. So I mean, the scores look good. It's just I'm hearing mixed reviews right now. This one guy actually traded it in, like he turned it back in. He's like, I'm not playing this till the next gen version is fully done.
It's for the best.
So
Someone showed like they made a meme. They're like, "Oh, the girl's Tinder profile and her in real life," and it was really PC versus console, like how drastic the graphics look. And
God,
it's pretty bad.
that sucks, man. Yeah,
I really thought about buying it until release day, and then I saw everything. I'm like, no, I'll wait.
yeah,
I'll wait.
I'm waiting. I'm really glad I decided to do that because it's just
Plus,
really sad.
I don't want to pay for the whole thing by myself. So
There you go. That's a
it's
good
a
idea.
game I only kind of wanted in the first place. So.
Right. You may as well just wait till I'll just pay for the whole thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can pay for the whole thing.
I was going to, so I don't mind.
That's good.
Yeah. But Crooked was saying like it's one of the best looking games and polished things he's ever played. So, but he's playing on
He's
PC.
a 3080.
Exactly. He's playing on PC with like the best specs you can have. So he's obviously going to have a different a different visual going on for him.
I heard you can't even play it in ultra on a 3090, and that's the that's the $1,500 graphics.
Yeah.
card.
What?
It's the new Crisis.
My God.
Yeah,
The new Crisis. That's insane.
I know.
That's like sad. So that means it can't even like run the best on a PS5.
I mean, yeah, and, like it still runs very well in high settings, but
Of course.
if you want like 60 frames a second in ultra settings, you're not gonna get it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is. It is.
All right. Well, cool. So there's your news for you guys. We're going to be moving on to retrospect, a little bit of look at gaming history for the month of December. So we kind of go over, like I usually pick we try to pick like one, what is it? One generation of each game. But there wasn't a lot of everything, so I kind of just pick and chose. So I'll kick us off with the first one, Dead or Alive on the Xbox 360. It's its 15th anniversary this month. This is the fighting game from Team Ninja. It was published by Tecmo. Little fun fact for you guys about Dead or Alive 4. Team Ninja wanted to include Master Chief in the game as a guest fighter. However, Bungie told them it was impossible for him to be in the game due to storyline restrictions, but they were still interested in the idea of putting a non-canon character from the Halo universe in the game. The end result was the character Nicole 458. In keeping with the idea of English being the language of the United Nations Space Command, Nicole is also the only character in the game that speaks English. I thought that was interesting.
I think that's really interesting considering Master Chief is in Fortnite now.
I know, right?
No, not that game.
I'm really curious to see who they're going to keep adding into to Fortnite, because now it's just almost like every day now. It's like,
I know,
new
like,
character.
I put it in my comments for the announcement at the Video Game Awards, but like I really wish I could like that game.
I know.
They're putting really cool characters and stuff into it, and I like sometimes I'll look at it, I'm like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna get into Fortnite, and then
Nope.
no.
Oh, that's right. I have to build stuff. I'm done.
Honestly, it's more having to shoot people. I want to
Yeah,
start. If they had a single player campaign that you can go through, I'd
they
play
do
that.
have a PvE version where you play with friends against evil, and
Oh,
it's like a you have to build defenses and try to survive as long as possible.
so like a survival mode. Got it.
Hmm.
Okay, I might try that.
I don't know if you can play as like Halo and like as Master Chief, but I know that's a thing. So anyway,
Hmm.
so Dead or Alive has a Metacritic score of 85 and a user rating of 8.1. However, I did bring a couple of some bad reviews for each of these. Couldn't find bad review for every game tonight, but I found a couple. So here's I think the best one I could find for Dead or Alive. This was from Goss. He gave it a 3 out of 10. He said, "Bouncing breasts, lots of bouncing breasts. Surely by putting bouncing breasts into a game that is a poor man's fighting game, it will sell, and guess what? It does sell, only because it's the only decent fighting game on the 360. Personally, if you put Dead or Alive fighting mechanics up against the likes of Tekken, Street Fighter, or Soul Calibur, then this game falls flat on its back in the first round and stays down. So if you like bouncing breasts, you're gonna love this game. But if you like fighting games, then this is a stinker. Again, the only reason this game is getting the scores that it's getting is only because it's the only fighting game out there."
Please hold while I add this to my backlog.
Yeah. I'm for a friend. For a friend. Why don't you help us out with the next one?
Coming out 15 years ago for the PlayStation 2 was Kingdom Hearts 2. The action RPG sequel to Kingdom Hearts was developed by Square Enix. This was Pat Morita's final acting role as he reprised his role as the Emperor from Mulan.
But that's pretty
I did
cool.
not know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just watched The Karate Kid again recently because of Cobra Kai, so
Oh, nice.
it hurts more. It
Oh
hurts more.
God.
Toy Story's Woody and Buzz were set to appear as summons in Final Mix for Final Fantasy II, but were removed for unknown reasons. These models were found in the code untextured and amongst the game summons. Does like untextured mean it was just like eyes and like teeth?
It was, yeah. Actually, I think there was a picture on the VG Facts website, and it was just like almost like polygons, like green polygons. So you couldn't actually see that it was Buzz and Woody, but you saw the silhouettes, and you're like, oh, that's Buzz and Woody. So
Oh.
it was very clear that it was them. This one had a Metacritic score of 87 and a user score of 9. I found two really bad reviews for this one.
9?
Yeah, I got a user score of 9. Yeah, so it was
Oh, out of 10.
out of 10. Yeah, yeah. It was really high.
It's like,
Uh,
oh. Oh.
No, oh god. So I think his name is Jakau Grady 92 gave it a 1 out of 10. He said, "The worst game in the history of games. This game sucked so bad. Every 3 seconds there's a stupid cutscene. It made no damn sense, this piece of crap game."
Yikes.
I know. Very upset. Then we have David C, who gave it a 0 out of 10 and said, "Whoever thought of putting the idea of whoever thought up the idea of putting Final Fantasy and Disney together should be dipped in honey and put in a container full of wasps."
Dang.
Yeah.
Thanks. I like these.
Very angsty people on Metacritic.
I didn't like this. No one should like this.
Exactly. You're stupid if you do. Only my opinion matters.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have Mario Party 3, the Japan release for the N64, 20 years ago, 20th anniversary.
Mm.
After failing an item minigame in the Japanese version, the announcer will say, "Mees." Do you remember that? From
I remember it.
yeah, when we were playing Mario Party at your bachelor party, every time you'd lose, "Mees." But in the international versions, the announcer says "game over," and the clip itself can still be heard in the voice test option in the sound room. I think that's
But
hilarious.
it says there it was only in the Japanese version.
Yeah,
But how come we heard it in your version?
I don't know. We heard Mies in my version. Well,
Is
that was
is
Mario
it-
Party 1. That wasn't Mario Party 3.
Got it.
That was original Mario Party.
I
yeah.
can't remember which one's which.
It's fine. This one had a Metacritic score of 74 and a user score of 8.1. This guy gave it a 0 out of 10. Chick game all around, sissy games, sissy challenges, and way more than a sissy price. The so-called hard mode can be beaten by a blindfolded chimp, guaranteed. His name was BS.
Someone probably did not win against his friends and rage quit.
Clearly not. Clearly not. He was very
It didn't prepare me for my friends at all.
game's stupid. He got his ass kicked in Mario Party 3 and was really bad, really pissed off. Had to go rant somewhere. Um, the next one, go ahead and tell us about it, but you can don't go over, don't read that entire
Don't
thing.
read the big wall of text.
Yeah, don't read that big wall of
right
text.
there?
I'll just kind of explain it.
Okay, so the next game you have on here is Worms Amiga. Is that like the
So
name?
Amiga was the actual console.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I know.
25th anniversary of this game. It's a series of artillery tactical video games developed by the British company Team 17. In these games, small platoons of they're just worms, paddle each other across a formidable landscape with the objective being to become the sole surviving team. The games are noted for their cartoony animation, extensive use of surrealism, and slapstick humor. The Super Nintendo version of this game has a hidden message in its code. Oh, I'm reading too far.
That's fine. The message is as follows. So basically what it is like it's this huge like wall of text, I guess, hidden in the code from this game. And it's basically like the developer saying thanks to everybody that helped him with the game. He's saying hi all to his family and friends. But I thought the sweetest thing was at the very end of the message. He says, "This game is dedicated to Lisa Rose. She is the one love of my life after programming, and she is soon to be my wife. I'm mad about her and want to be with her always." I just thought that was cute.
Very cute.
So that was like hidden in like some code or something in the game. So, cool. So next we have Commander Keen on the PC. It was 30 years ago, 30th anniversary. So I was 3 years old. A series. So this was a series of side-scrolling platform video games developed primarily by ID Software, which I believe now is owned by Microsoft, right? Because isn't ID Software also the same team as like Bethesda and everything? Aren't they like a sister company or something? I forget. Yeah. So anyway, the series consists of 6 main episodes, a lost episode, and a final game. All but the final games were originally released for MS-DOS in 1990 and 1991, while the 2001 Commander Keen was released for the Game Boy Color. The series follows the eponymous, Commander Keen, the secret identity of the 8-year-old genius Billy Blaze, as he defends the Earth and the galaxy from alien threats with his homemade spaceships, ray guns, and pogo stick. And the fun fact for this one was that soda cans found on Mars resemble cans of Pepsi from the 1980s. They use the Pepsi colors, and the side of the can has the letter P visible on it, as well as part of the logo.
Oh,
so, yeah, and you see you see the image, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely Pepsi. Like they covered half the can, so you couldn't see the rest of it. We also have some honorable mentions for 15th anniversaries. Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, and the Xbox 360 was launched in Europe.
So you put Dead or Alive 4 over Metal Gear Solid 3, and I'm assuming it's because of the big bouncing breasts. Is that?
Well, no, that wasn't the reason. It was because Metal Gear Solid 3 the Subsistence was the original Metal Gear Solid 3. It was Snake Eater was the true Metal Gear Solid 3. I think there was like 2 Metal Gear Solids, and Snake Eater was the main
I was
story.
like, let's hold on a minute. I think you just wanted to say big bouncy breasts.
How'd you guess? Read my mind.
That was exactly it.
Busted.
My laptop battery or keyboard died right in the middle of this, so I'm gonna have to go on my phone.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, yeah, for Twitch.
That's okay.
That's okay. All right, cool. So moving on to that was retrospect. A little bit of gaming history for you guys. We do that once a month. Moving on to our main topic, the Game Awards recap. So we're just going to be going over the awards real quick, but mainly we're going to be probably talking about the announcements that happened on the awards show. A lot of crazy stuff happened. But I just wanted to ask you like a couple questions before we actually jump into the awards. Were there any games that you were like really happy for?
No, honestly, like this was a very one-man like show for the like, and as you expected it. It's set up in a way where it's very easy for one game to sweep.
Okay.
Like if a game is going to win Game of the Year, there's no way it's not going to win the genre award and or like best writing award. Like it's very easily set up for a game like The Last of Us 2 to win award after award because they're all so closely interconnected.
Right.
These are all voted on by people, right? Like fans.
Yeah, so the fans
and
vote,
then like
but
so they're like weighted, but like there's also like legitimate voters.
Yeah, there's the actual panel that votes. I think they have the final say. But yes, there are votes where they actually have some kind of weight where it's kind of like they look at it and they review it and they go, okay, this was there was a majority of people that preferred this game, so we're just, and then they can talk amongst themselves. So.
Yeah, like I think doing it that way, there's like a huge recency bias, and it's all about like that's how the biggest names are gonna win. It's kind of like in the Academy Awards where like they won't even watch the animated movies; they'll just ask their grandkids which one was the best one, and they'll be like Disney. And like I feel like that's how these awards go with people who are voting online. It's the people who are like, I've heard of Last of Us, I'm voting for that.
Right.
So it's really frustrating. Because, like, I feel like the only ones we got wrong are the ones that we took a chance on.
That's true. That's
like,
actually
everything
very
else
true.
was the expected winner. Like, there was, like...
Right.
And then there was, like, a couple, like, they were, like... They weren't real awards. It didn't feel like a real win for Final Fantasy VII to win Best Soundtrack, which I think it deserved.
Yes,
but like,
totally.
here's your little consolation prize. Here you go. You could be best RPG because you can't really call Last of Us an RPG.
Right. No, that's true.
So it was disappointing to see how many we got right for that reason.
We got a lot. I mean, like I think it was
like the ones I wanted to win did not win very often. It was the ones that we thought would win.
Right, it's true. I mean, I was very happy for No Man's Sky for Best Ongoing. That one actually was a shock.
That was the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah. And it was the biggest surprise for them. Apparently, if you watched it when they announced they were
drinking a beer,
he was like mid swig, and then they're like, oh, and he like puts the beer down. He had this look on his face like, we ain't winning this one, and then he wins.
You had like best community backing or whatever, and that one went to Fall Guys, and
that threw me off.
Yeah, it was just another, like, I think it just had the bigger fan base at the moment.
Well, that's the thing. I think because it's recent. It's more of a recent game. So, of course, they had community support right from the get-go. And they added DLC, like, immediately. So they had all this new content, like, month after month. Which kind of,
it's all this new content, but at the same time, to me, like...
It was all planned.
Yeah, and it wasn't stuff that I was going to bring me back to the game. I don't know.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's very, like, it's a fun concept, and I really had a good time, but it was not enough to hold me as long as it should. So I'm just really glad I got it for free. No, I'm talking about Fall Guys still.
Okay, as I thought.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I totally agree.
I was most surprised, and pleasantly, for No Man's Sky.
Yeah, so I think that was, like, the biggest thing I was happy about. Any awards that took you by surprise?
That was it. It was No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually surprised Doom Eternal didn't win anything. That one kind of threw me.
Yeah, I am not a fan of those games, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
But so if I was doing it, it wouldn't win anything.
I was just surprised they didn't win Best Action. Like that threw me off. Like I haven't played.
There was
Hades,
a big
to be fair,
following with Hades though, so I think. Yeah, I would be one to say if it's in the best game of the year category, they should take it out of all of the genre categories.
Right.
That's just how I feel about it, because I feel like being in the best game category could be like an award in itself, and then the winner of that could be like great. Okay. I feel like if it's in the best of the year category, it should be a given that it's the best of the genre.
Right. That makes sense.
And I think Doom Eternal and Hades were the only two best of in the same category. Am I right?
Hades was
with Doom Eternal because it beat out Doom Eternal for that award.
Right.
And I think you had Final Fantasy VII and RPG, and then you had Last of Us and action adventure. So
yes.
Yeah, it sucks for me because I'm like, if you're gonna win Game of the Year, you're definitely gonna win Best of the Genre. And what are these other 4 games even doing here?
Right. Well, the thing is, like, I remember they mentioned when they did say normally the person who wins Best Action Adventure Game usually wins.
Yeah.
Game of the Year, but not every year Action Adventure is going to win Game of the Year. So, but I guess in most cases that's been usually the case.
Yeah.
So there's that. Do you think if there's anything that on this list that you think should have won instead, or they were like, I don't know?
I mean, I haven't played through. I just wish it wasn't set up in the way where you'd be like, well, Last of Us was the biggest name,
right?
And it was an amazing game, but
it was.
It's all so close that it's like when I watched the Academy Awards last year, and what was the big one? This Parasite. Parasite was in the Best Picture nominees, and then it was also in Best Foreign Language Film. And I'm like, If any other film wins best foreign language film, then why is Parasite in the best film total?
I see, I see.
So it's kind of set up like that. Like, oh, if it's in the best one, why wouldn't it win every other category?
Yeah,
That's how I
that
feel about
totally
it.
makes yeah, that totally makes sense because it's almost a disadvantage to the others in that category.
Yeah, it's like why would I vote for indie game number 2 when Last of Us is in the same category as me?
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's almost like kind of unfair to like the other
Yeah.
games.
So I mean,
But
I just wish there was like a wider variety, I guess, of awards.
yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I selfishly wanted No Man's Sky to win Best Community Support just because they continued to bring new DLC, and with it being all free, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. And they were completely
Hmm.
transparent, once all the backlash had happened. So I don't know. There was a small part of me, but Fallout guys, they had a great opening. It blew up, so I mean they definitely
Yeah.
deserved it in some way.
Yeah.
So
And I know we aren't supposed to reference the Twitch chat while we're doing this, but Alex brought up the question, uh, Last of Us winning best direction while all of their employees were stuck in crunch mode for the entire time, working
I
like extended weeks.
mhm.
They do announce that award as best artistic direction, or like something to reference the fact it's artistic direction for a game. It's not
Right,
like best job of the director to create a supportive environment where all these
right,
things could happen. Like I think
right,
the
right, right,
creative direction of that game was on point.
right.
Um, but there should be some kind of award for like best studio to work for,
Yeah,
because
best like
most ethical studio to work for, because
yeah.
it's not
It's
going to be any of those top 5.
I'll tell you this right now though. Working in the marketing industry for film and television, and I can tell you right now in post in general, the ethic is going to go out the window for pretty much like
Hmm.
a lot of the cases because what's going to happen is you're expendable. If you're going to complain, fine, leave. We'll get somebody else to do your job.
That could be
And
said
that's
for
the
so
sad.
many jobs though. Like I feel
It's
like
true.
I feel like
It's a
this
sad
is the
truth.
time of the year that's crunch time for every job.
Hmm.
Like if you're
Yeah.
not willing to work Black Friday, then we don't need
Right.
you here.
Right. And it's
Um,
sad that's the mentality. But like in my industry, we would crunch weekly, like
yeah,
weekly like Universal would be last minute. They'd be like, hey, we need this next week. It's like, well, normally what we do, it takes a month, you
yeah,
know, and that's just the way of the business. And unfortunately, because that's the thing, like it was different for CD Projekt Red versus what happened with The Last of Us, from what I've heard. Or not Last of Us, but Naughty Dog. Apparently, Naughty Dog, there was a lot of turnover, which
hmm,
leads me to believe that it was a really bad environment. But CD Projekt Red, they had a launch coming up and they were crunching. They were paying their people the overtime, and everyone's complaining. I was like, well, first of all, they have jobs, they're working, they're paying them
yeah,
well. Why are we complaining about this? That's my opinion, but I understand the Naughty Dog thing's different because of the turnover rate. Like that sounds like there was something going on to where it wasn't it was more of a toxic environment.
yeah.
But I agree with you on the sorry to like stray from the conversation, but
No,
yeah,
like
like
I'm really glad we're on Twitch for this reason, because it is
yeah,
something I read up on today and something that I think is really important.
yeah, definitely,
So yeah, like that award isn't for the ethical part of
right,
crunching. Like,
right,
so I do understand that bit, but it's I can't speak specifically to that line of work. Like I
yeah,
feel like there might be people listening like, you don't understand, and you're right, I don't. But I do know what it's like to have a normal weekend at
hmm,
work, or have the weekend where my boss decided that we're going to make pretzels for all of our customers, and those
right,
take 2 minutes per customer just to make one pretzel. And if they order 4, that's 8. And normally I can get a customer done in 35 seconds.
right,
So it's going from like a regular weekend to, oh my gosh, why do we have to do all this extra stuff? I get it, and it sucks, and it
yep.
sucks coming home after that.
Hmm. But I feel like that's just the way that things have been going in general. Like, apparently when my company started, they would have 2 months to work on one trailer, 2 months. And with turnover rates, like in terms of like how quickly they're releasing things and getting things
Hmm.
out there and how quickly things are changing, now the asking time is literally gone from 2 months to 2 weeks. It's
Yeah.
it's literally cut in more than half time. Uh, it's just insane. But I think that's just the way of, with technology speeding up, everything else speeds up, and everyone's just trying to catch up. And until enough people mess up, it's going to just keep going this way because people are going to find a way to make it work for the client. And until they say no, we're not doing that for you, and they can't find anybody else to do it, that's when they're going to realize, maybe we asked too much.
Yeah. But there's always like, everyone's trying to make like their name
Mm-hmm.
known. Like
Yep.
if Naughty Dog asks you to do something and you can't do it, there's going to be someone be like, "I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm so desperate. Please let me
Yeah,
do
it's
it."
so true, and they'll do it for cheap. They'll do it on
Yep.
the cheap, and they'll be like,
Mhm.
perfect.
Yep.
And that's the way it goes.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, you know.
It needs to
Anyway,
be like minimum union kind of stuff, but like
yeah.
unions are so hard to get to nowadays.
Yep, it is. I know. Tell me about it. Okay, cool. So yeah, so like we were going to originally turn this into a betting thing, but what's really funny is I tallied up our guesses and we ended up tying.
We tied.
We tied. So it literally did nothing to our overall score
Because,
for
well,
the
I mean,
month.
for the most part, we did agree. Like, it was
We
very
did.
blatant that this was going to be run by The Last of Us. It was just
Right.
which awards is Last of Us not going to win?
Right. So what it came down to was I'm going to quickly go over the ones that
Mm-hmm.
I got right, you got right, and which ones we didn't get wrong, kind of thing. So best game direction, I guessed Last of Us Part Two. Jeff guessed Ghost of Tsushima, which he got wrong. We both guessed the winner for best score in music wrong incorrectly. Jeff, although I think it was funny that you were like, I really want Final Fantasy VII to win, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be Last of Us Part Two.
I know. Well,
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
I
And
know.
I think it was just like the pity award. That's the word I was looking. Like, it's the pity award. Like, here you go. Here you go, buddy.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, there you go. It's true though, because they had to give it to something, I guess, other than did they give it anything else? Yeah, they gave it best role playing, which is huge. So I don't know, but anyway, so we both got
Huge.
that one wrong. Yeah, huge. We both got best audio design wrong. It was Last of Us Part Two instead of Doom Eternal. We both thought Ashley Johnson was going to win for best performance. It was Laura Bailey as Abby.
Okay, that's the thing I'm most upset about. Like,
All right.
I'm not surprised, but I'm most upset. Like, I don't feel like there was a lot of like beats or actions thrown into that kind of acting. It was just like, how could I be so moody? Well, nothing against Laura Bailey and
course.
everything that she's had to go through because of people not liking spoilers they read about the game and people like putting on her that she's a trans character, even though it's not mentioned whatsoever.
No, and she's not trans, so
Yeah, like
you're just
she
wrong
got
altogether.
death threats because of a character she played. I don't
Yes.
think she played it better than anyone played any character this year in video games.
I agree.
No one deserves that, and that's
No.
completely ridiculous.
No,
But I'm
it's
still mad she
disgusting.
won.
I hear you. I honestly feel like when I watched her talk and have her speech, I actually was really happy for her because of all the crap that she'd gone through with all that
Yeah.
hate mail and being threatened. I was actually kind of like, maybe it was meant to be, and maybe she does deserve it for all that she'd gone through because of that. But I do know what you're saying. Like if you're looking at it, objectively, I agree. It was I wouldn't say her acting was anything stellar or like overly impressive, but I think when you're comparing it to the other actors, it wasn't like that far off. So
No.
I don't know. It's a tough call.
Yeah.
Moving on to games for impact. I guessed Tell Me Why, which was the winner. You guessed Kentucky Route Zero, so that was incorrect. Best ongoing game, we thought Fortnite, which everyone else thought it was Fortnite. Even the Twitch community was voting that night, and they're like, "Oh, it's Fortnite," and it was not. It was No Man's Sky,
I just think the people who play that game weren't old enough to vote yet.
right? That'd be amazing if they actually you had to be 18 to vote for the awards show. It'd be amazing. You have to be an adult to make the proper decision here. Let's see here. Best mobile, I guessed Genshin Impact, and I was wrong. You picked Among Us, which was the winner. And also Among Us, man, that girl got so emotional with the award speech. I almost got choked up watching her talk about the game. I was like, wow, they really like are passionate about this game, and it was just so cool. I'm so happy they won what they won.
Yeah, I really appreciate like they scrapped the plans to make a second game to make the first one better
Yes.
instead of making you pay again.
Mm-hmm.
Like with how popular it is right now, like the game is 2 years old. It
Yeah.
only got popular this year. Like I think they deserved, or like no one could have blamed them for putting out a second one.
No.
But they chose not to. They're like, thank you for your $5. We'll make this game even better.
Yeah, it was really cool because it blew up. So obviously they made a lot more money that way.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I think they were happy with it.
Yeah.
So best community support, we both guessed No Man's Sky. Fall Guys won. Best
That's the
action.
one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Best action, we guessed Doom Eternal. Hades won. Best role playing, we guessed Persona 5. Final Fantasy 7 won. Best sim, you chose Flight Sim, which won? I guessed Gear Tactics, so I got that wrong. So yeah, overall we tied exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm still 1 point ahead of you for the entire year of all of our games.
Great.
So, yeah, cool.
I
So
don't think
moving
that'll
on.
change today either, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, cool. Moving on to the Game Awards announcements. There was a lot. There was so much, and we originally were going to kind of go through everything and do like a are we getting this day one? Are we going to buy it on sale? Is it
Hmm.
too early to tell, or is it not my thing? But
There's
there was
just so
just so
much.
much stuff, so we kind of just decided to kind of narrow it down to the things that we wanted to talk about that we thought were notable, or we were interested in playing. So why don't you go first with the first thing you wanted to talk about, Jeff?
First thing I have on my list, I looked at Sea of Solitude, which was the director's cut.
Okay.
I really liked the giant beasts, and I thought the art looked really cool. Like the
Okay.
wolf, I was like, that looks so cool. But I mean, everything else was meh for me.
All
I've
right.
never heard of this game before, and assuming it said director's cut, I assume that means there was a regular cut that already came out.
Right. There was.
So I didn't buy it then, and I don't think I would now. That seems like the kind of game that I would get in a humble bundle and not
Right.
realize it's been in my library for 2 years, but it's very possible. Um, and it's something I don't think I'll ever pick up.
All right. Yeah, this was actually not my thing. Like I just like as cool as it looked, I wasn't really I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. There was a vibe about it that I was like, I don't know.
Hmm.
So I was definitely gonna pass on that game for
Yeah,
sure. Um, the first one that stuck out to me was Shady Part of Me. It
I
was
did
like
watch
that.
that trailer.
What's that?
I did watch. Sorry, I didn't write anything, but I did watch that
Oh
trailer.
no, it's all good. It's all good. I just thought this one looks awesome. It was like the girl with the shadows and everything. The art style kind of reminded me of Little Nightmares a little bit.
Yeah.
But just the idea of using shadows as part of like the transportation and the puzzles, I thought that was
Mhm.
really cool. And right now it's only like 13.50 on PlayStation Plus,
No,
so I'm gonna pick it up day
nice.
day one. Like I'm gonna buy it as soon as I can.
That's dope.
It looks awesome. I might do a let's play of it too because it looks really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Next, I'm going through in order of your list.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to say it as you wrote it.
Cool. That's fine.
Seprioth
Oh,
joined
God.
Smash Brothers.
No, it's
Sephiroth
Sephiroth.
is
Sephiroth.
the new Smash Brothers character. I was really hoping for Crash Bandicoot.
Mm,
So, like, not gonna lie, my initial reaction was like, "Oh, okay."
all right,
But like,
fine.
it's very logical given that Cloud's already in the game, and
Right.
like, I feel like when GameFAQs the boards used to do top video game character, it was always like Cloud, Link, and Sephiroth.
Gotcha.
So it's a very popular choice. I'm really excited to pick up and play the game again for another 15 minutes, like I usually do.
Total of
Um,
15 minutes.
but yeah, so and I really like the. It was a really cool trailer.
It
like
was a
that,
cool trailer.
One Winged Angel is one of like the most iconic video game songs of all time,
Nice.
and it was perfect. Emily sent me a tweet, and I think it was like a High School Musical clip, and she's like, "Give me a beat," and it was like Sephiroth coming out, and it was like playing his music as she was walking out. It was so funny.
That's hilarious.
So I'm stoked.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was a great trailer. Not gonna lie, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Century Age of Ashes. So not my thing, but I had to at least talk about it because it looked really cool. It was just dragons fighting dragons, like on like a multiplayer, people flying dragons around. It looked pretty badass. Like with especially that one shot where you saw like the four friends riding together into like this huge battle of just fire breathing dragons everywhere. I don't know. It looks dope. It's not my thing, but it looks pretty cool to be honest. So I don't know.
Awesome.
What did you think about that one? Did it like stand out to you at all or?
Man, what's that one?
Oh, it's the drag. It was like PvP dragon slaying thing, and not slaying, but drag. It was everyone on dragons, and they're just like fighting each other on top of dragons. They're flying around.
That
in a
sounds
mech.
like something I play, but I definitely didn't want to say
All right, that's all good. That's all good. It looks cool. So
Yeah. Well, the next one I had thoughts about. Well, I was gonna say Perfect Dark, but really, I just wrote I've never played those games before.
See,
The next one.
I had Perfect Dark too.
Oh, why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, if you were gonna mention it, it's way too early. Obviously, like what they showed, it's exciting because I remember playing Perfect Dark on the N64 and I
Mhm.
loved it. It was so cool. So I'm actually really excited. Unfortunately, it's only on Xbox.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's
doesn't that mean it'll be on PC too, though?
it will be on PC, but then that means I still have to upgrade my PC.
Yeah, that just means I'm good.
So yeah, you know what? Either way, I'm gonna have to really like consider upgrading my PC or buying an Xbox because I was a big fan
Yeah.
of the series, and I guarantee everybody on the Xbox side right now are like losing their minds, and they should be very happy because I think landing the Perfect Dark series and having that being exclusive is huge. Microsoft needs to continue to do stuff like this if they want to compete with PlayStation. I think this is a great move. So,
I really that the whole thing being from a drone really didn't do anything for me. In fact, I'm like, if the game plays like this, I'm not even gonna
no,
look at it. But
no, the original
I
games
don't.
didn't play like that at all.
Okay, like
I,
anything first person and doing some flippy stuff, I'm out.
oh yeah, no, it was definitely like I think there is a drone that you can fly ahead to like kind of see like to scope out your area, but either way, it's a first person shooter. Other than that, I don't know if this one's gonna be first person. I don't know if they're gonna like follow the
It looked like it.
yeah. So
Like I, yeah, if you're gonna put out something like that, I feel like it looked like it.
I agree.
Yep.
Cool. What was your next one?
Back for Blood, which is
Yep,
from the developers of the Left 4 Dead series,
I had this
and
as well.
I really liked that trailer. It looked like a lot of fun, way
Hmm.
more fun than the Evil Dead trailer that we're gonna see later down today, and it's the
Oh
same
yeah.
kind of game.
Oh yeah.
Love the animation, love the art style. I'm absolutely going to pick this up.
Cool.
I don't know if it'll be a day one purchase, but definitely something I feel like me and other friends could pick up and have a good time.
Oh, definitely. It's funny when I first saw this, I was like, it's a little too early to tell what we're getting into. And then they were like, oh, we also have some gameplay. I was like, you guys,
Like that gameplay looked dope, and that was just alpha.
it looked so good. I loved the variety of the zombies too, and the creatures, like that huge, like 20-foot. Like,
Yeah. And I love they're going for the little ones, and then a big one popped up, and they're like, "Oh, we're not doing that right
yeah,
now."
just come smashing through the walls, and yeah, it was.
It looks so cool.
It looks really fun. I'm not exactly sure why they're doing a clone of Left 4 Dead instead of just doing a third game.
Like
But
I don't think they're allowed to, right? Like I think they were like commissioned or like it's
oh, so it is
produced
not.
by by Valve, but this is a separate company,
Oh,
right?
I see. So they probably left the company to make
Or like
this.
like Valve had no interest in making another one, so
Mm,
they're like, "Fine, we'll make another one and we'll
that
call it something else."
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a
There'll
good
still be a
name too.
4 in it though.
It's almost like a stab like at
Yeah,
Valve. Like,
I think it's a spiritual sequel. Like
I mean, come on, Left 4 Dead, and then they call it Back 4 Blood.
yeah, they're like it's not Left 4 Dead 3, but
But yeah, exactly. It's the same game.
yeah,
That's what it is. But yeah, it looks awesome. So and again, I think for me, I would never get this unless you got it and we played it together.
yeah.
So
No, we would absolutely play that together.
yeah,
That looks dope.
yeah. So anyway, cool. Next on my list, I had Callisto Protocol.
Hmm.
Uh, Too early, obviously, because it was just a full CGI trailer. But dude, I got some serious Dead Space vibes like immediately. And then, of course, after they showed the trailer, they announced that the CEO of the game's company was one of the guys who actually worked on Dead Space. I was like, of
Yeah.
course. Apparently, this was the guy said. He said it's a single-player, third-person survival horror. Takes place in the year 2320 on Jupiter's moon Callisto. The trailer was awesome. I immediately got the Dead Space vibes because of the little bar in the back of the guy's neck. It had like the green bar. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, there's your health bar. I just want to see more. I really want to see more. Hopefully, we'll see some gameplay at E3 this year. That's what I'm hoping for. But that monster that was in the guy's cell with him, that thing had 2 mouths.
Yeah.
That was horrifying.
Like I don't know. I can't trust cinematic trailers anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
know,
feel like
know.
we're gonna get that, and we're like, that looks so real. Like, look at the way he's reacting, and then we're gonna get like Dead Space combat, and I'm gonna be absolutely turned off
Dude, if it's
and
Dead
not want to play this
Space,
game.
if it's gonna be next gen Dead Space, I'm so ready for it. I'm down.
Like the most. I'm still mad at the first one. I never will play that again.
Yeah, the melee combat wasn't like the best, but it was all about the shooting for me. It was all about those the cutting
Let's
laser
start
guns.
with that.
You start with that.
I'm only playing for an hour. Give me something cool. It's like no.
No.
You will walk and you will get your. Look at the way you do melee.
Hit him harder. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for Callisto Protocol.
I'm sure you are.
What was your next one?
My next one was Open Roads, which is by
Yep.
the developers of Gone Home.
Dude, so good.
I'm really digging this uptick in
Mhm.
hand-drawn animation looking kind
Yes.
of games that look like cartoon movies and stuff.
It looks so good.
I thought the art style really like hammered in my wanting to play this game. Like Gone Home's one of those walking in a limited space kind of games that I actually enjoyed.
Right.
I never beat it, but I did enjoy it.
I beat it.
So I'm gonna give this one a shot. And like that cast as well, the chick from Booksmart and Carrie Russell.
Yeah,
I'm
from Waitress,
absolutely.
Mission Impossible 3, Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. Like she's been in everything.
Oh yeah, like first time I saw her was in August Rush, but I think she was in the
Yeah,
Felicity show. If I
she's
remember.
she was Felicity, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan.
Hmm.
And I'm really actually kind of enjoying the trend of like big actors being in games.
Me
But
too.
I think it should be like they should mix them in with really talented like video game voice actors. Like
Yeah, and not Vin
I'd really
Diesel.
like to see, someone like Willem Dafoe mix it up with Troy Baker or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
that'd be awesome.
it sucks when they put them all in one game together. Like, oh, James McAvoy, you're gonna be in with Willem Dafoe and Daisy Ridley. It's just gonna
Right.
be you three. Like, no.
So stupid. But yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with the art style, man. It was so cool because it was like hand drawn people, but then
Mhm.
everything else kind of looked like it was from The Witness. It
Yeah.
had like a very like 60 frames per second, like smooth feel. And then
Mhm.
you see the hand drawn, it's like slowed down frame rate. And I'm like, this is really crazy looking.
Yeah.
It's really
So
cool.
I'm
I'm
absolutely
excited.
into that.
Definitely excited for that game. Next one on my list was Disco Elysium Final Cut. I don't know how I missed this game because this is the Final Cut, which means this game has been out for a long time. I
Mhm.
heard about Disco Elysium, but I had no idea it was about like a murder mystery and you were a detective. It looks so
Oh.
cool. And the style looks awesome. It's almost like a cyberpunk detective game. Like I really want to get this. Apparently it's gonna be a free upgrade to the original with new quests, more places to explore. Every person now has like a voice actor cast to it. I think it's gonna be March or summer. I forget the date that it's gonna come out, but I definitely am gonna get this day one. This game
Okay.
looks awesome. It looks
Honestly,
super
like
cool.
I was looking through your list and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go through all of them. And I looked at that title. I'm like, no, I'm gonna not look at that one. So, gonna be honest, I don't know anything about that one. But from what you said, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, check it out. It's almost like a top down perspective. And
Um,
yeah, it looks cool though. Like you should check it out. The style
okay.
looks interesting. And
Those
the
are a
voice
hard sell for
acting.
me.
I know the voice acting is kind of what sold it for me though, and like the
Okay.
style. So just I don't know, take a look at it. It looks pretty cool.
Dope. All
Yeah.
right. Next one I wrote down was Dragon Age. I didn't even realize that they announced this one 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I keep hearing really good things about the series, especially Inquisition. It's just like the kind of genre I can never get into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, I almost feel guilty about that because like this and like Skyrim and Dragon's Dogma, like I always hear good things and then I start them and I'm like, I don't care about any of these.
I know. I get.
That's how I felt about Game of Thrones when I started it too, though.
Yeah.
Like you guys put on the first episode for me, and I'm like, why are we? First of all, why are we watching this as a group?
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't like this.
Second of all, this sucks.
And then we watch the first season, and I'm like, we have to watch it with friends. I can't
Yeah, right.
watch it alone.
It was like Breaking Bad. It was like, oh my god.
I know, like, yeah, something about it, like getting to watch other people's reactions is dope. For
That's
something.
yeah. Like those are the best shows to watch with friends. Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, like easily the best to watch with. A
So
group of friends.
I think if you have a story with good enough characters that
Mhm.
I could get into it, but
Right.
nothing I see when I pick these games up says that to me.
Well, for me with the Dragon Age games, I usually tend to just play like the beginning just to get the origin story, and then once you get into the main part of the game, I kind of get bored a little bit. But this game was actually announced at Gamescom this year, but they remember it was just the developer interview. They hadn't shown anything. They just showed images. They showed like just pictures of
Yeah,
we're working
read
on
that was
Dragon
from
Age, but that's all we
2018.
can tell you.
I read in 2018 is when they showed the concept art and stuff. I could
Oh,
be wrong.
interesting. Yeah, because I know we'd been doing the podcast prior to that, but anyway, I don't know. Weird. Cool. Next one I have on the list is Crimson Desert. This looks very, very ambitious. Like, holy hell. It's way too early to see what's going to happen with this because everything about the beginning of this trailer really intrigued me. But then once the combat kicked in, it looked just way over the top and very like anime-ish.
Mm.
Like just way too, I don't know. The guy's like slashing his sword, like, but he's like jumping like too high in the air, and like the animations looked way too cartoony.
Mhm.
Or they just looked, I don't know. They reminded me of like a JRPG, and I kind of was like, oh, I don't know. Now I understand that it's supposed to be like more of an MMORPG, so I kind of understand the whole MMORPG look aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But again, like this thing was riddled with pop-ups and glitches and bugs and frame rate drops, and it looked like crap like a lot of the time. But I saw what they were going for, and it looks super ambitious. I'm really worried that they're trying to do way too much with this game to the point of where they're not going to have an actual direction, and it's just going to be crap because they're going to try to do too much, and the execution is just going to suck.
Yeah, like if this is your presentation for the Video Game Awards,
Yeah.
that I'm looking at it right now. Like he looks like a poor man's Jon Snow.
It was just there was way too much going on. Like especially if you keep watching the trailer, there's just way too much. Like at one point they're like in a tomb, and then they're riding a dragon, and then they're like, there was just so much stuff happening in this trailer. I was like, what is this game about? Like, what are you doing?
No idea.
So I don't know. I want to say I want to keep watching this one and keep an eye on it, but I'm just nervous that it's going to be too much, and it's just going to involve too many hours, like that you're gonna have to sink in to actually get anywhere with it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Before I move on to my next one, I just quickly want to say Endless Dungeon is not my thing. Like roguelikes, not big on me. But like, it looked beautiful. Like that was another one where like it captured like cartoon animation mixed with like neon coloring and lighting, and I was like, oh, this looks so pretty.
The electricity, remember that?
Yeah.
The electricity looked so good against like the lighting. It was like reflecting off the floor and the wall. I was like, whoa, that looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, can't wait to see what other people think of that. Can't wait for it to show up on PlayStation Plus, and I add it to my library and never play it.
And never play it, exactly.
Which is sad.
Well, I know, it's true. What was your next one?
Season, the PlayStation 5 exclusive.
That was mine as well.
That one had the best visuals, or for me, of any of the games. And then, unfortunately, that's where it ended. Like,
okay.
I don't think the trailer or like anything I saw made me want to play the game any more than seeing the one picture of the dude on the video, like freeze frame.
Okay.
The one city area that he was in looked so barren and empty. I did like how big and open the environments were as he was like riding his bike and stuff. But like, I don't know, the trailer, I need to see more because everything else in that trailer besides the art style didn't do anything for me.
As of now, this is a day one for me.
Oh wow!
It just the bicycling, just like the cycling on his bicycle in that windy road, and that environment looked so beautiful. I was like, oh god, I want this. I want this feeling of serenity and peace riding that bicycle. It looks so beautiful, and I was concerned because I was like, this game looks like the art style looks way too good for this to match the gameplay. And then they showed gameplay. I was like, they matched the art style. How the hell did they do that?
It looked incredible.
Yeah, the fact that they matched it sold me on the whole game. So I'm ready and I'm down for it. I just got to get a PS5 now.
Yeah. You will someday.
So
maybe.
Season.
I don't know. I just got one for my butt. Or I didn't get it. Like, I gave up on the direct. But Andrew got one and he was stoked.
Jeez. Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping late January I can get one.
So when are you going to start looking to try? Like, right after Christmas or like...
Yeah, I was going to start right after Christmas.
All right, right after Christmas. Like, yeah, I need a break from looking because I was like obsessed with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find one for me around January and let me know, I'll definitely.
Honestly, if I find one now, I'm going to buy it with like a credit card and then just like have you pay me back.
I'll definitely pay you back if you can find one, I will pay you back.
But like, I'm not actively looking right now.
That's fine. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I appreciate that though. I really do.
Yeah.
It's really hard to try to do because what sucks is like I'll be like middle of the day. Hanging out with my family, I'm playing with the babies, watching. Now I have to watch them, like actually, like watch them
you can't just have them like on the floor next to you.
No, you can't just like put them in the bouncy or like have them just sit there and like have them chew a toy for 5 minutes. They are constantly moving and crawling everywhere. It's nonstop. So I'll be sitting there, all of a sudden I'll get a text message. Consoles are now in stock. You got to be kidding me. So I can't even like sit there and sit for an hour and wait for the thing to like get in queue. And I was like, nah, screw this. I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Yeah, it's tough.
So there's that. Cool. Moving on. Arc 2 it was announced. That was a big one for a lot of people. But I will say this: I've always wanted to try Arc. Because I thought, well, cool, maybe I can just skip Arc and play this. But honestly, having Vin Diesel in the trailer pretty much sold me on not playing this game.
No, I wrote young Vin Diesel's body with old Vin Diesel's face.
Like, what were they thinking? If how you get people to not want to play Arc 2? That's how you get. That's how you do it.
They
Put
got
Vin
his
Diesel in the
lifeless
game.
face and lack of fluid movement down. Very lifelike.
Dude, it looked so bad. I was like, ugh. He's like, let's go. And like everybody else is like, everybody looks like they're supposed to be there, and he stands out like a sore thumb. It looks horrible.
Yeah.
It's so
He
stupid.
was very poorly put. Like, why would you get his best acting role is Groot, and you put him in this? You put him in this?
You showed his face?
His second best acting role is the pacifier, and it's funny because he has no emotion.
God. It was just the trailer was so cringy too. It was like, ugh, this whole thing's like cringy, and I don't know, like I'll probably just play Arc 1 to see what it's all about, but I don't know. I think
I
Arc will never be on my backlog because of this.
I wanted to like the first one so bad, but it felt like they were really trying to screw over people with like their like tons and tons of tiny DLC that you need to complete the game, and like
That sucks.
yeah, it seems like it's really a money grab. And the fact that the first one still doesn't even really feel done and they're moving on to the second one is really concerning.
That is annoying.
And I can't believe first of all, I can't believe they got Vin Diesel, but you can with all the money they were charging people for all this little crap.
Right.
I'm trying really hard not to read the chat right now, but it's so funny watching everyone trash on Vin Diesel.
It's totally
Vin
true.
Diesel's nips, Fast and Furious.
As a reminder, we are live on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
We do a Q&A after the show. If you want to get in on the fun and the conversation, we are live. We do the show live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Adventure Hawkins. So definitely be here for the conversation and the Q&A afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
What was going to be your next game? Because if it's a certain game, I want to mention something before you go on to that.
It was just going to be the season 3 trailer of Fall Guys.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Now, I like this one more than the last one. Made me want to pick up the game again. Like I liked the medieval theme of the last one, but
Right.
the level that I saw looks way more fun and made me actually want to pick it up.
I saw this and I was like, oh man, they're gonna lay ice all over these maps. It's just
But I'm
gonna be
like
so
I'm fine with
frustrating.
those because it was like slime climb,
Right.
and I'm really cool with that.
Right. Yeah,
I was like one of the few people who actually get at that level.
I also like the big like candy cane fists. Those are hilarious.
Yeah. And like the way that you go over the hill and then the fan blows you further if you jump,
Yes.
like I thought that looked really cool.
Yeah, it looks like fun. I mean, I really don't like Fall Guys just because I suck at it. But that's that's not fair in terms of being objective. That's just because I suck at it.
No, yeah. I got a couple crowns and like I think I said I tried to pick it up in season 2 and I like everyone's good now.
Right.
It's like trying to play Fortnite in the beginning and being kind of good at it and then not playing for 2 years and everyone's like 10 years old and really
That's because
good.
that's all they do. They spend 8 hours, 9 hours a day playing Fall Guys, and you don't, and that's what happens.
I just wish I could.
And this
And
is why
I just wish it wasn't the same like first level over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like
This is
and
why
then
I
that's
stick
the
with
one you have
single
to
player
play
games.
with. Yeah.
I don't. I'm so bad at being twitchy. I'm bad at being competitive with other people that have like the time to spend like 15, 20 hours a day on multiplayer games, and I just want to enjoy my time. That's why I stick with single player.
Single players for old people. Like
That's
us.
right. I'm 33.
You're so old.
I know. So before we move on to the next game, I wanted to talk about this because this was a really funny moment in the Game Awards. Did you actually? You just kind of watched the highlights, right? You didn't actually watch the award show.
No, I didn't watch all of
Okay,
them.
so there was this part where before they introduced the multiplayer game of the year, Tom Holland came out and talked a bit about like he was very proud and honored to be working on the Uncharted game or the Uncharted film. He's very honored to be playing Nathan Drake. And then he said, okay, now I'm going to turn it over to the Nathan Drake, Nolan North. So like Tom Holland was like somewhere else, but then Nolan North was actually on set. And he said, okay, they're in Nolan North. And so Nolan North comes on. He's like, first, I just want to say thanks, Tom. I could not be more proud of you. You know, someday when someone searches for Nathan Drake on IMDb and you're the first result, I will only be remarkably bitter. I laughed so hard. It was just so
He
funny the
seems
way
like a cool guy.
he seems like a total cool guy.
Like in both of them, like I can't hate
Yeah.
Tom Holland. Like,
No.
he's precious.
Yeah, he's great. Exactly. I'm actually really happy for Tom Holland that he's
Yeah,
playing
me
Nathan
too.
Drake, and I think he's going to do really well. And I think he's going to be able to grow into that character. To be honest, kind of like how Nolan North grew into Nathan
Yeah.
Drake. Like Nolan North played him for how long? Like
I know, and like the first game is good, but like looking
Yeah.
back, it's nothing remarkable.
no.
But Now it's a treasure.
But anyway, I just thought that was so funny. I had to talk about that. How much I loved that comment.
That was great.
Yeah. So next game on my list was Returnal because they
Yeah.
showed the gameplay. Dude, I was
Oh man,
so
you
excited
skipped
for
a
this
lot
game.
here.
I was so excited. And then they showed the gameplay and I was like, why? It just looked way too frenetic and way too like quick, fast paced. Like the story looked so good and like the slow pacing of the story looked awesome and it was looked so dark. And they showed the gameplay and it was like all these colors and flickering lights and I was like, this looks dumb. I don't know that it just it not dumb, but it just doesn't match the aesthetic feel of the story. It's
That's
like
why I
this.
don't like cinematic trailers. But to be honest, I didn't like the cinematic trailer either.
Right. Well, I
So,
remember you were like, I'm good with this game originally anyway, but I was all for it because it looked super dark and super interesting. And it was that, oh yeah, you have to go through this loop and try to break the loop. I'm like, oh, that seems like a cool concept. And they showed the gameplay and I was like, ugh, I'm good. So I just had
yeah,
to mention that because I
I'm
was
kind
so
of the
disappointed.
opposite. Like, especially looking at it now, I really like the muted colors and the bright like oranges that they got going on.
Interesting.
So I think visually it's going to be an amazing game.
That's so funny. You and I
I'm
flipped.
really bad at shooters in general, but
Mhm.
I don't know, like something about those like creepy I know that's your thing because it's like
Yeah.
a Dead Space kind of thing
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a creepy slow feeling, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not for me. So
Gotcha.
to me, it had the opposite effect. Way to go. Maybe they can get both of us.
Way
It's
to
either
go.
they get both of us or neither of us
It's true.
when they do something like that.
It's so true. It's so true. What was next on your list?
You did not talk about Evil Dead the game.
I
Uh,
did.
well, I mean, it was you.
Oh,
didn't
we
go out of
skipped it.
order.
We skipped it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you skipped it. Oh.
Yeah, because I
Um,
mean, it looks
yeah.
cool, but I figured you'd want to talk about it.
I put lots of blood, sweet, but do we need another co-op zombie survival game just like Left 4 Dead, but not as good as Left 4 Dead?
Like Back for Blood.
Like it was like Back for Blood, but worse.
Right.
And then I can already see the heavy hit swings that they had going on, where they do the big wind up
Yep.
and then swing. Like I saw a couple of those, and I saw how frustrated I'm gonna get playing that game.
Yeah.
Like in my head, and like Evil Dead has a place in my heart. I was in the
Yeah.
musical and it was really cool.
Yep.
But like, and it's really cool they got the cast of the show, but
Yeah.
that did nothing for me. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like they could have done so much with it.
I know. I mean, I honestly want to see more. I want to see more gameplay
Yeah.
before I make too much of a judgment. But I agree. I mean, I'm the same way with Back for Blood. Like I could easily play both of them and feel the same thing, just
Mhm.
because it's a multiplayer co-op story, and those usually aren't as good experiences as a single player story. So
Yeah.
I
Like,
think it's really going to depend. I guess
maybe it'll follow the story of the movie,
Maybe.
the show pretty well. But I don't know. It would have to
Yeah.
have a really good story in order for me to want to play that with guys.
Totally
you
agree.
guys. Yeah.
Cool. Next on my list was Road 96. Really upset that this is not on console. This is only on Steam. But it would be a day one if it was on console. It was described as a procedurally generated road trip, and all the stories have different outcomes. The art
Yeah.
style was really cool. The overall vibe I was getting was awesome.
Mhm.
I'm just really hoping it gets ported at some point to consoles because it looks amazing. It was saying
Well-
like there were thousands of different options for
You're
story.
100% sure it was for Steam only? It was the one that said wishlist now, right?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
no.
sure it's Steam only.
I read that it just didn't reveal what consoles or
Hmm.
platforms it's coming out for. So I
Okay.
don't think it's strictly for Steam,
Okay.
especially because Valiant Hearts came out for everything.
That's true. That's true. Valiant Heart. That's right. The same team. That's right.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right.
like I really liked Valiant Hearts too. That was another one I got. I actually got
So good.
surprisingly deep into that game without beating it.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah,
God. You have
but
to beat
like
it.
I think that the studio does a really good job of telling the story that they want to tell.
Yep.
I like how different this game feels than
Yes.
Valiant Hearts. Like it looks different, and it looks like I liked what they showed, kind of the different gameplay elements that was going to have, and it wasn't just going to be like one way the whole way through like Valiant Hearts was.
Right. This
It'll
is
have a
like
nice
choose your own
amount
adventure.
of variety. Yeah. And I was noticing when you're like driving frantically down the road, dodging back and forth versus like other gameplay mechanics. So this is definitely going to be one I pick up.
Oh yeah, me too. Like this looks amazing. I'm super excited for it. It's kind of like Oregon Trail meets an RV an RV road trip.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to play this game.
Yep. Cool. What was your next one?
It Takes Two.
That was mine. That was mine as well.
Like I tried 3 or 4 times to start that trailer before today because everyone's like, "This looks great," and then that book came on. I'm like, I don't think this game's for me.
Yeah, right. That
And
was kind
I
of like,
kept starting it, but once it showed the relationship and
yes,
of the two characters and what they were trying to do with like, in order to get out of here, you have to fix your relationship, and like watching them work together as you would
yep,
work with a teammate.
right,
That mixed with the art style and the goofiness of it, like
yep.
this, if this isn't top 3, it's because it's my favorite of everything that we saw today.
I totally agree with you. This is definitely a day one for me. We are playing this, and the cool thing about it is it's just like, because it's the same developers from a Way Out,
Oh,
same team, yeah, same guy.
this is the game that they should have made in the first place.
Right. But I think that's where they learned. I think they figured it out. I think
Like they
were
got the mechanics in that game, and then they added interesting characters in this one.
right, exactly.
And an interesting story.
They got the concept for A Way Out, and then they figured out everything else.
Yep.
For this one, I just loved the trailer so much. It was such a fun trailer. The song obviously was a no brainer.
Yeah.
But the voice acting's fantastic too.
I'm gonna throw up. There's nothing for you to throw up.
Yeah, I told you.
I laughed a lot whenever the
Yeah.
book was not on. I like every time the book came on. I'm like, I don't think I like this game.
Right.
But like, I did laugh out loud when it turned to him singing the song, and he goes, "Didn't like it, huh? Well, everyone has their own opinions," and he just like shoots them down.
Launches
a hole.
them. Yeah. It looks great. I'm really excited for this game. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Alex said, I hope they have more inclusive options for couples who aren't hetero. That would be super cute if you could, like, if they had like one or like multiple identities for each side. That would be
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, because as of now, you have to pick a man or a woman. You can't.
Are you the man in the relationship or the woman in the relationship?
Yeah, right. Honestly, I always tend to play females in games. I think it's just more interesting.
If it's third person, it's because you're watching their butt. I know you. That's why you do it. You pick.
My next game. Okay, so actually no, the next thing though, Master Chief is coming to Fortnite. That was a big one. But the thing that I took away from it was not that. It was the fact that they're bringing Blood Gulch map to Fortnite, and they're doing a capture the flag in Fortnite, and they had a whole scene like with a throwback to Red versus Blue for the announcement.
Right.
And Ninja was there. It was so amazing. I am a huge fan of Red versus Blue. And if anybody has not seen Red versus Blue, go watch Red versus Blue. It's by Rooster Teeth. It's like one of the best things ever to come out of video games was a TV, like a web series based off of a video game, an in-game mechanic that they just used.
Yeah.
I guess like they did the coolest thing where in order to film the series, they had to point their gun down and then turn their head to look all the way up. That way you couldn't see the gun in the shot when they were recording.
Oh.
So it's like they're doing this.
That's funny.
Yeah. But that's kind of like where I got inspired to do the Red Dead show, because I loved Red versus Blue so much. And I was like, that's a great idea. Like just make an entire web series based off of an in-game engine.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, cool stuff. And then also Daryl and Michonne are also being brought into Fortnite.
As playable character, like skins?
Playable skins, yes.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that, but didn't see the trailer. That's really cool.
Yeah. So
like I said earlier, I really want to play this, like be into this game, and like they have lots of cool skins. I just can't do it.
I know. Anything else for you on this list? I have one other.
Well, I mean, just a couple from that we passed.
Go ahead.
Evil West. I'm really disappointed that this isn't a game about Kanye West fighting evil Kanye West. That would have been a *1 day hit for me. Like I would have played that game so hard.
Kanye West versus evil Kanye West.
I would have played that game. Like maybe the game is like he's running for president. Yeah, like you have to stop evil Kanye from running for president.
Oh my god! So it's like Back to the Future or something. Like he has to go back in time and stop himself.
So hard.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Oh man, no, I'm sad. I'm sadder. But it looked all right. The
Yeah.
website I was on billed it as Red Dead with vampires and monsters, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. No, not at all.
I would
There's
play Red Dead with vampires and monsters, and that
yeah,
wasn't Red Dead.
but I'm not
It
gonna
was
play
just it was
this.
a western with vampires and monsters.
Exactly. That's all. That's as close to Red Dead as it gets as the genre.
Yeah. It's really cool that Xbox One Series X is getting Flight Simulator because I heard it wasn't
Yes.
very good on the Xbox One.
Right.
But I heard it looks amazing on the Series X.
Right. Right. And that's like
And
the
something like that would push me to get the Series X over the Series S.
well. What's funny is like I look at Flight Sim. And I'm like, it's a gorgeous game. It looks absolutely beautiful. But I
Mhm.
don't have time to play a game like that. I don't have time to just sit in a plane.
You're looking for
For
chill games.
I am, but again, you're just sitting in a plane and monitoring like odometers and meters, and that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I can tell you right now, when I retire and I'm like in my 70s and I'm just sitting at home, that is the game I'll be playing when I'm retired. Just like hanging out in a plane, drinking, just totally chill.
It's my boss Mark's favorite game, and he's 45, and I'm sure what you said puts him in shambles.
I'm sorry.
He said you're 70, Mark. Mark
I didn't
listens.
say you're 70. I said when I'm 70, I'll be playing this game.
When I'm as old as you.
Yeah. When I'm as old as you. Oh man. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mark. Anyway.
And then Among Us, they have a new map, which is
Right.
pretty cool.
The airship.
Yep, we didn't play enough for me to get tired of any of the maps that we saw so far,
Yeah.
but the
Dive into
gameplay
that.
looked cool.
Yeah, I really want to play more Among Us. It's really fun.
I do too.
Good times.
I wish we could make it a room full of people I know, because I really felt weird calling anyone out in a room full of I'd be like, no, I saw him kill somebody. He goes, Jeff, you don't know what you're
And
talking
they like
about.
really got on us too. Like we'd be like,
Yeah.
I saw you. No, it wasn't me. And like they got so defensive. I was
And
like,
then-
oh wow.
yeah.
And they were totally just playing us for a fool the entire time.
It was very good. Like I felt like I was like, I don't belong here. He's
Yeah.
yelling at me.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't know who it was. Maybe it wasn't purple.
Yeah, like he was like legitimately. I thought he was legitimately like feeling attacked and
I know.
being
And I'm like,
defensive.
I literally saw you. He's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, maybe I didn't.
Maybe I didn't see him. You start crying. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There's two left that I have notes about. One of them you didn't even include,
Oh, what was
called
it?
We Are OFK,
Oh.
which was like an interactive experience. It was like they showed them. It was like a little concert, and they played a song.
I missed this.
And then they're gonna do like a series of 5 experiences. What it was like to put the band together, and what it's like to be in the band.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
like it's a virtual pop group.
I did hear about this, but I thought OFK was like they actually performed on the show.
Yeah, and I think that was like the trailer for the game.
Interesting. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I thought that looked really cool. The song was very catchy. I dig the vibe of it, and
Okay.
seeing the little clips that they had from the game throughout the song. I thought that was really cool, and I'm definitely gonna play that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Cool. All right. I also then of course the last thing which everybody flipped out over Twitter, like I saw so many people just screaming and just saw like A's just all over Twitter when they announced a new launch of Mass Effect. I don't know if it's going to be like a refresh of the series, but Mass Effect will continue, and that's all we got. It was a
Yeah.
little bit of a CGI cinematic short and that. So that's pretty exciting for that Mass Effect fan base. I've only played Mass Effect 1, and I've maybe played about 4 hours of Mass Effect, which I really enjoyed. But I really want to jump back in, so I think I'm going to try to get the definitive edition with 1 through 3
yeah.
eventually. But
I definitely. I have it on PC, and I'm sure my computer could run it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, that was probably one of the bigger announcements for all the fans out there.
Yeah, I've never played a single Mass Effect, so it didn't do anything, great for me. I heard people didn't like the ending of 3, and then
Yeah.
the one that came after it, everyone only complains about. But yeah, if that's your thing, great for you.
It's not my thing.
Not my thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. So that was our reactions and our recap to the Game Awards of 2020. There was a lot to go over, so thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah, that was a long time.
That was a lot. So we're going to quickly, before we jump into our Give It an Hour, we're going to do a quick game of 10 words where Jeff and I have picked a game for each other, and we have to describe the game in 10 words or less, or we have to guess the game in 10 words or less.
Mhm.
So do you want to go first?
Sure. So I'm saying the words to you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Word number 1 is 2 words.
Hmm.
Battle Royal.
Okay.
Royale.
Spellbreak?
No.
Okay.
Next one I wrote was platformer.
Oh. Oh, I know which game it is already. Mario 35?
No.
Or no, wait.
No, you're right. Guess. Shut up.
Okay.
Next game thing I wrote was dive.
A battle royale platformer. Battle royale. It's
All
not
of these
Mario.
were in the article, so I felt comfortable using all of them.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just in case you try to call me a cheat later.
No. I don't do that.
I should do more Jim Halpert looks into the camera.
You should. You
I
should.
know, because I'm like looking you, and then you might say something of it
Except no one will know except unless they're here.
in the Twitch chat.
The listeners have no idea
it's
what's
like,
going on.
If you want to be the camera to my Jim Halpert, join our Twitch stream.
There you go. All right, so battle royale, platformer, diving. Diving. Huh. Interesting. Diving. So that. Okay. Fortnite?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. The next one is slime.
I've played this game. What?
Yes.
Weird. Slime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. This is probably so obvious too.
Yep.
Oh wait. Ugh, Fallout. Oh no, Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Man. The diving.
I know. So you got 7 points.
Okay. All right, I'll take that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
The next one, let me read what the rest of the words were going to be.
Yeah.
The next one was going to be 60 for 60 players.
Okay.
And then kudos, which is the currency.
Okay.
And then tails, because of the tail game.
Right.
Obstacle, crown, and race.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have gotten it by crown, I'd be really embarrassed.
And I was like, I thought you were going to get it at slime, because I said slime climb earlier when we were talking about, the more I was talking about season 3, I'm like, I need to shut up.
I need to stop talking.
I don't want it to be fresh in Nathan's mind.
Amazing. All right, cool. First word for you is going to be a genre. So it's 3 words technically, but I'm just going to say FPS.
Call of Duty.
No.
Right.
Next word is strategy.
Call of Duty.
Nah.
First person shooter.
Focus more on strategy.
On strategy.
Yeah.
Um,
Focus less on first person shooter, even though it is.
Even though that's the biggest. I'm not gonna know this early, so I'm just gonna guess Halo.
Okay, now next word is time.
Time. Outer Wilds.
No, speed.
Speed. Time.
You sound like the intro to the What If Marvel
I need to
trailer.
not look at chat.
Oh yeah, they're like gonna be trying to help you out here.
First person shooter, speed, time, strategy. If I don't get it here, I lose.
You're gonna get it on the next one, I think.
Okay, what's the next one? I don't even have anything.
Minimalist.
Oh. Oh no. I feel like such a fool. Every time you say you're going to get on the next one, I feel a lot of pressure to get it on the next one.
It's like really just a psychological way to like make you feel you have no idea what it is.
First person, I never like any of these games.
But you love this one.
Oh no. Oh no. First person, strategy, minimalist, speed, time.
It's all gonna make sense when you get this too.
Give me the next one.
Throw.
Throw?
Mm-hmm. It's a key element. It's one of the key elements of the game.
Remember when I was good at this game?
Your average is still 8 points. Your
Yeah, it's
average in
going
this game
down.
is still 8
It's
points.
because I got 10 a couple of times.
Yeah, it's exactly. My average is like a 5 or 6.
Throw.
Mm-hmm.
Key. Throw.
I'm trying to like help you explain with context. Like throwing is like,
Yeah.
and also a big part of the game.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. God, I'm trying.
No,
Movement.
it's fine. It's fine. What?
Movement.
I hate you so much.
Movement.
Movement? Why is this in the middle of it? You move in this game. What's the next word, Nathan?
Duck.
Duck. Duck hunt.
No, the bird. Like actually duck. I'll let you have another guess.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Somebody in chat said NCIS.
Throw duck. I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right.
Is it VR?
Yes.
Okay. Now I have to think about every game I own.
That's actually the last word.
VR?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clear my mind. What did we play together?
We can't play this together, by the way.
Yeah, I figured we couldn't. Oh my god. Why? This is going to be the worst part of the podcast. I can't decide what's worse. Me having like a mental crisis or you going
Yeah, I know. during video game taboo. I have like full on seizures when I play that game.
Throw. Okay, give me another word. I already know.
Well, this isn't going to help you if you can't figure it. If VR is not helping, then Melee is not going to help you.
Melee?
Yeah.
Robo Recall?
No.
Yeah. All right, what is it? Give me 0 points. What is it?
Super hot.
Oh, yeah. See, like I thought
Time,
super hot.
speed, movement.
Yeah, I thought
minimal.
super hot, but something about one of the words was like, it's not super hot.
What was the word?
Maybe it was throw, but I just remember being so bad at it. Like, I never threw.
I remember like throwing guns and bottles and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I got 0 points. That's upsetting.
Aw, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
I for sure thought you were gonna get it like with minimalist.
Yeah.
Because like I figured if you're gonna
like VR wasn't in my mind until you said throw. And then I was
interesting.
like, and then it started to like turn in my head a bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that sucked.
Okay.
I was thinking it would be cool if we did a game where I was trying to get you to get it as few words as possible.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But like I can't, because then we could talk about cheating where you could just pretend you don't know what the word is.
Right.
Or the game. Like you could be like VR and I'd be
Yeah.
like Super Mario brother.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's something that we could workshop. Like I hate that they're all competitions and not like,
Yeah,
this point total's killing us.
I know.
It's driving us apart.
It is driving us apart.
All right, let's move on.
All right, cool.
This,
So fun.
This is running forever.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half or hour, so we're over an hour. Given an hour of the main event, Jeff and I play a game each week that we suggest for the other, and we decide whether we want to add it to our backlog or not. Except this week, instead of suggesting a game for the other, because I'm running out of games, we each pick a game off of our own backlog that we hadn't touched yet, and we decided to play for an hour and see how we thought about it.
Ironically, I picked a game that Nathan could have recommended for me off of his back game he played, and Nathan picked a game he could have picked for both of us. So really, we didn't even need to start a new segment.
It was a really, this was an unnecessary one. Before we jump in though, I'm gonna have you start with Horizon Zero Dawn. There was we got two reviews from Instagram. First one was from the Hunter Bishop, who actually has his own podcast, which is great, by the way. You should check him out. He says Horizon Zero Dawn is one of the best game stories I ever watched on YouTube. Aloy is one of the best game protagonists. Unfortunately, I found the combat clunky and the stealth rudimentary. This is another game where stealth consists of hiding in tall grass. Why does every AAA game make stealth boil down to hiding in tall grass? The characters in these games don't even wear proper camouflage, so hiding in grass wouldn't do anything regardless of how tall it was. It's ridiculous and has gone on for far too long. It's time to put an end to tall grass and stealth games. Like, all it does is make the enemies in the game look incredibly dumb. Could you imagine if you were watching a movie and James Bond was just laying in some tall grass and wearing a black suit, and then henchmen walked right next to him while looking directly at the ground but didn't see him just because he was in tall grass? How dumb would that be? It's the same thing with these games. It always comes down to see if you see an enemy, look for some foliage. Even if hypothetically hiding in grass without camo worked, the minute the character moves, it would cause the grass to flatten and move, which would give away their position. It makes no sense, it's not good stealth, and I'm sick of it. It's like all the enemies are Stevie Wonder. That's the only explanation as to why hiding in grass works in these games. It's time we demand more from our stealth. Rant over. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh right, Subnautica is a great survival game that's rewarding to explore. Its underwater setting is beautiful, unique, and most importantly has no tall grass to hide in.
Huh.
So thank you, Hunter Bishop, for that. Also, we have one for Job's Aaron on Instagram. He said, Horizon Zero Dawn is a game with great combat, story, and controls. Yes, tall grass is very involved in the stealth of the game, he replied, I think below, Hunter Bishop. He
Because
said,
these were like comments.
Yeah, these are all comments, yeah.
Got it.
He said, Horizon Zero Dawn is Beast Wars along with Terminator similarities and a strong female protagonist for Sony to stand behind. Coming off of Killzone, Guerrilla really took a big leap forward and released one of the first juggernauts on the PS4 after Naughty Dog's Uncharted 4 release. Give this an hour, and you still won't know what's going on, though, so you may have to give this game at least 10 hours. Definitely recommend this. Also, why is this not on the PlayStation Plus collection? I thought that was a good point.
Probably because they're trying to get you buy the next one.
That's
or buy
what
it so that you play the next one.
Probably what it was.
I mean, it was smart. I'm so like, they could have not put God of War on it too for that same reason, because they're trying to sell Ragnarok.
They could have.
So I get it.
Yeah. So what do you think about Horizon Zero Dawn?
I only took a couple of notes. First one, that kid's face is freaking terrifying. Like, I was like, this is not a child. This is like a robot. Like, it was.
It's a person of small stature.
The voice was very cute. It sounded like a kid. Like, I don't know if it was one of those where it was like Clementine, where it was played by a grown woman.
Yeah, it's an adult actor playing a kid.
So, Baby Yoda. Like, she just had the most like distant look in her eyes when she was looking at something right in front of her, and like it was scary.
Right.
The first time I tried to play this game for 5 minutes, I turned it off because of her. Like, and then like, I wrote down, you're walking and you just hear, "Stay away, no mother." And I'm like, is that really the best name you can come up with people with no mothers? Like in Harry Potter, they have like Mugblood, if you're half Muggle. But here they're like, you're just a stupid no mother person. You have no no one does your hair.
Clever.
Like later in the game, someone called you a motherless, and I thought that was fine. But like, no mother just sounds like so like, I ran out of mean things to say about you. Only one person grew up loving you. It's okay if it's a dad, though. You could have a dad that goes away, but you can't have a mother that goes away.
Oh my god.
Aloy aging didn't, like, it was showing like her progression of age, and she was like, same kid but taller, same kid but taller. Now she's Aloy. Now she's Aloy but closer to her normal age. And it reminded me of the movie Looper, where they had Joseph Gordon-Levitt as young Bruce Willis, and they did this montage of showing Joseph Gordon-Levitt aging, and then all of a sudden it was like Bruce Willis with makeup and a really bad hair part to show him. And like when they really should have just gotten a different actor for the middle of the two.
I know.
So it was really jarring to watch that. Is Rost played by Optimus Prime? Because not only did he sound like Optimus Prime, he sounded like a robot, especially as opposed to Aloy, who had like very natural sounding speech.
Right.
And if that's the only person she spent her whole life with, if it wasn't supposed to be like that on purpose, then I don't know. His speech was very jarring. Aloy, we have to go this way, and it really drove me insane.
That's funny.
I agree with the review that like playing this game for an hour, you don't know what's going on still.
No, you don't.
And if that's all I had for this game, I wouldn't continue playing this game. But I know it's a good game. And like
Right,
I
right,
know
right,
I just need to get there. Like I fought some
right.
of the bad guys and like I hate shooting.
Hmm.
And so it was very frustrating to aim this arrow at a very small eye as it was waving back and forth.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
it's
wasn't even
challenging.
like it didn't even know I was there. It was just walking. Um, I I'm not a I have a hard time when games have too many gadgets.
Oh, okay.
And so like I had a similar frustration in Watch Dogs 2 where it was like, okay, now you could also use this, but also use this. Make sure you hold R2 so you could scan your environment and see what path they walk on.
What about Spider-Man though? I feel like Spider-Man had a lot of
But
gadgets.
you could have got through the whole game without using any of the gadgets. Like it
That's
showed you how
true,
to
I
use a
guess.
couple of them.
That's true. Fair enough.
And like the combat was satisfying enough, and you could do it with just punching and blocking,
That's true.
or hiding and pressing triangle,
Fair point.
where it was simple enough. But this one, like, you can't choose your play style. Like it really wants you to be the kind of character that's far back and like is very stealthily. Because once you got into hand to hand combat with some of these things, when they jumped at you, they turned sideways, so it was almost impossible to evade them. So like I did die a couple times when I know you were not supposed to die.
Right.
But it was like, first of all, there was no tall grass in some of this. But yeah, so it felt very clunky to me, and
Okay.
I really wasn't in the flow of it. Maybe if there was like an auto aim feature, I would have immensely more fun. Given it would be way too easy, I think, and that's not what they intend.
Right.
But yeah, so it'll be a tough gameplay style for me to get around to. But
Okay.
I want to give it more of a shake because I feel like the story is going to draw me in, and I'm gonna enjoy it once I get
Yeah.
there.
I think the story will actually draw you in. The story does get really good, so I
Yeah.
would definitely recommend getting far enough to where you realize, oh, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It will happen for you, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you will be adding it to your backlog then?
This one I'll be keeping in my backlog for now.
That's true. That's right. It's already on your backlog.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool. So I got to play Subnautica. I've been actually wanting to play this one for a while. I'm a big fan of survival games, crafting games, open world survival in general. But I just never like have the time to really sink into them, unfortunately. But I really admire the people who actually spend hours and days and years playing these games, and they have like these huge, amazing setups of things they've built and created over the years playing these games. So I'm kind of like envious of that. But when I first started playing Subnautica, I died quite a few times just because I had no idea what was happening. Also, it was either because I was running out of oxygen, or I starved to death, or died of thirst. But I think the biggest issue was because I have a huge fear of like dark water and deep water. So I'm like thalassophobia is big with me. So of course I picked this game.
Yeah.
I like as soon as I dropped in the water, I was like, oh god. Like the anxiety levels I was feeling were just insane, and the sound was so good. It was too good to the point where it kicked my anxiety even to a higher level, because there was like these low groaning sounds. I thought I could have sworn I was going to get eaten by like some huge whale or something. Like it was close, and I was like, holy crap, where the hell is this thing coming from? So it was terrifying at first, but when you start to like swim around and get a feel for it, you kind of get a little more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the game's very difficult in terms of not knowing what to do or where to go. Um, Also, I had no idea you could actually just grab fish while you're swimming. Like I had no idea that was a thing, because I wasn't. It's not something you think like, oh yeah, I can just swim up and grab a fish. Like, but it
My
turns
fish.
out that's your food source. It's your water source. It's everything.
Oh.
But I had no idea. So I learned the hard way after dying multiple times. But eventually, I upgraded my tank so I could swim longer. I upgraded my fins so I could swim faster. I crafted a repair tool, a scanner, a flashlight for nighttime. Which, by the way, nighttime swimming is terrifying as hell. It's like pitch black all around you except for your flashlight. I was like, I'm just gonna stay in my little emergency craft until the sun comes back out, because this is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Because originally you're given like a flare to start off with, and you have to like carry this flare around, and it's like creepy as hell. Um, but it's just really creepy too, because there's like these fishes that charge you, or there's these fish that charge you and they blow up, so they do a lot of damage to you, but you don't expect it till you hear them scream and charge you. And especially it's worse when you're like in these dark cave systems and it's pitch black. It's scary as hell. But I ended up like getting like an SOS message on the radio in my little craft, and I got a blueprint or something. So, but so I didn't get too far, but I'm just getting started still. But yeah, I mean, otherwise the sound is amazing. The graphics are pretty decent considering it came out in 2014. I was also able to listen to Spotify while playing, which was really nice.
Oh,
I was
that's
listening
cool.
to like my Guardians of the Galaxy playlist,
It's
which is
very happy
perfect.
for what you're describing.
What's that?
It's very happy compared to what you're describing.
Well, that was like the nice part. It was almost like a soothing like juxtaposition of what the kind of game I was playing.
Yeah,
It was almost like I was like it's kind of like the music I listen to when I play No Man's Sky.
got
It's
it.
like chill exploration music basically. So I
Okay.
was doing that, which was nice. But I think what's intriguing me though is that there is an end game now. Originally there wasn't an end game, and
Huh.
now there is. So that's kind of what's like driving me to think, okay, well maybe I'll see this out to the end. You know, there are some issues that I have. Like when trying to catch fish, it's really tough because with the joystick, you know, you're using the right joystick to look around and look up, and the fish are constantly moving, so you have to constantly track them with the right joystick. But then you have to quickly switch your finger over to X to grab it. Now I could see how this would be super easy on mouse and keyboard, but on like on joy on a controller, it's like super difficult. So that was the main issue with that. And also what was the other one? Oh yeah, I'm also kind of concerned about the biome diversity because right now there's not much biome diversity at all. It's like it all
Mm,
kind of looks the same, you know, because it's underwater. It's the ocean. It's like
yeah.
how different can it get? So I'm more concerned that it's going to turn into a fetch thing where okay, I'm just going to go out to grab this, and this, and then come back home instead of like enjoy the exploration process of it. So that's my only concern with it. Um, but I've seen like videos of people building some incredible underwater bases, which is really cool. And again, the end story I think is going to be the reason why I do finish this if I do finish it. But it's not going to be like a main game that I play. It's going to be one of those games where I just probably play when I'm in the mood. So
Okay.
I'll definitely keep it on my backlog just so I can see if I can get to the end and get creative with some of the crafting and maybe build a really cool underwater base. But overall, it's a really cool game. It's just you have to enjoy open world survival games.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you played it because it convinced me not to.
Yeah, no, I
I was
think you
like,
wouldn't
the more
like
you
it.
explained it, the more I'm like, oh, Nathan would really like this game. And if he makes me play it, I'm gonna be upset because I don't want to play that game.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you want to hear me crap about how much I hate survival games, then I wouldn't.
But anyway, it was cool. So
Yeah,
I'll definitely keep playing it.
cool.
Okay, cool. So so again, we do this every week. Next week we're gonna actually be having Clay and Alex on our
They're in chat right now too.
they're in
Woo!
chat exactly for our holiday special episode, which Jeff will be hosting. Also, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So if you have not signed up yet for the holiday giveaway, there is a link in our link tree on our profiles for Instagram and Twitter. Go on there, sign up on the sign up sheet for a chance to win a bunch of prizes. We're going to be naming those off on the show live next week. So again, if you want to get involved with the Give It an Hour, next week, Clay, we're going to be doing the picking a game off our backlog again. So Clay is going to be playing Dishonored. Alex is going to be playing Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4. I'm going to be playing Broken Age, which is I'm going to read the description real quick because it looks really cool. I've had it for a while now. It's a family-friendly, hand-animated, puzzle-filled adventure game with an all-star cast, which I did not realize. Elijah Wood, Jack Black, and I think it's Masasa Moyo. Funded by a record-breaking crowdfunding campaign and designed by industry legend Tim Schafer, Broken Age is a timeless coming-of-age story of two teenagers, Vela Tartine and Shea Volta, are in strangely similar situations but radically different worlds. The player can freely switch between their stories, helping them take control of their own lives and dealing with the unexpected adventure that follows. So I totally forgot about this game and I was like, oh, I got to try this. So I'll be playing Broken Age. What about you?
I'm gonna be playing the Sexy Brutale.
Oh,
I found out about this game because there's a late video game reviewer, Total Biscuit. He was one of my favorites. He had an awesome, uh,
nice.
yeah, the Cynical Brit, I think was his series. But he
Okay.
would do WTF is, and then he would explain a game. And he did this one, which is described as a never-ending masked ball featuring intrigue, murder, and the quite possibly occult. you're reliving the same day over and over as people are getting murdered.
Oh, that's cool.
And you have to prevent all of their murders. And then I think as soon as someone dies, you start the day over again.
Oh, that is awesome.
So it looked really cool. I have it for Steam and Switch, so I think I'm going to play it on the Switch. I'm really excited to give this one
I'm
a
gonna
shot.
have to give that a shot on Switch then at some point.
I don't
Maybe
think it's...
maybe I'll wait till you give it to me as a give it an hour game
Yeah, maybe, if I like it.
if you like it.
I think I mistakenly called Total Biscuit Cita Culprit. I don't think that was his name, but
No, that's all right.
he passed away of cancer. He was a really cool dude, though.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So those are the games we're going to be playing this week. If you want to get involved and you want to actually have your reviews read on the show, there will be a post on Twitter and Instagram on Tuesday where you can leave a comment. And if you leave a comment, we'll read them on the show. And yeah, so there's that. You can find me on all the social medias as Adventure Hawkins. I'm on Twitter as Adventure Hawkins, but without the E. And where can we find you, Jeff?
Zabadabadoo. Also without the E.
There's no E.
There's no E.
Thanks again, guys, for listening to this episode. We really appreciate it. This one went on for way too long, in my opinion, but I had a good time doing it. So thank you for listening. And as always, I have a joke for you, Jeff, to wrap up the show.
Yeah, let's hear it.
To the guy who stole my antidepressants, I hope you're happy.
That one was all right.
Damn it.
You're being upset makes me happy.
5, 6, 7, 8.